Hello, my name is Attorney Paul Chang. I wanted to thank all of you for being here today. Today's topic is one that is very near and dear to my heart for some personal reasons. So I think it was very important that this question was sent in. This is another round of Ask the Attorney. What I would ask you to do is I need you to go to the first video to talk about disclaimer that says that this video does not create an attorney-client relationship. Today's question comes from Ling Ling in Los Angeles, and she says, "Dear Mr. Chang, I am scared. I thought I was in love when I met my husband in Hunan province. He was so nice to me. Our marriage was so beautiful. But right after the marriage, he began screaming at me. If he was not happy with my cooking, he would throw it on the ground. If he thought that I was treating his 2 children bad, he would hit the wall next to my face. I know that being married to a white person would be different, but this is not what I want. I want to get a divorce. He has told me that if I want to get a divorce, he will report marriage fraud and I will lose my status here in the United States. Is that true? I would like to bring my parents, but I do not want to die. What do I do?" This is obviously some English translation problems with Ling Ling, but that's okay. Ling Ling, I just want you to know that getting citizenship in the United States is very hard. I understand that your American dream has now become the American nightmare. And what I'm going to do today is not just speak to you, but speak to a lot of individuals, immigrant spouses that come to this country and find that their thoughts of the marriage are vastly different. The general rule is this: when you get married to a U.S. citizen, you are given what is essentially a conditional status. And what that means is for the next 2 years, you are pretty much required to remain married to this U.S. citizen. And if you get divorced during the 2 years, it can be presumed fraud, and that will entitle the United States to send you back to your country of origin. But there is an exception, and that exception is of one for abuse. In terms of abuse, what you need to prove is that the abuse was the underlying reason of the divorce. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about specific types of abuse that one can face in a relationship, and if you can be able to prove it and you do get divorced during the 2 years, you can remain in the United States. The first one is isolation. Now what that means is that typically the U.S. citizen comes and he, and it's usually a male, isolates the immigrant from her family, from her relatives, from her friends, does not allow her to learn English. 2, economic abuse. And what economic abuse means is that they will threaten or abuse the immigrant by placing her in a financially difficult situation. Number 3 is sex abuse. And what sex abuse typically means is that he will call the immigrant a mail order bride or a prostitute for wanting to come here to this country for a better life. The next one is emotional abuse. And what emotional abuse basically means is he'll use different formulas. One of them typically is writing back to her parents in the foreign country, saying how bad of a person she is, maybe saying that she's not a virgin any longer, and making her family feel like she's the one that is actually abusing the abuser. Number 5, intimidation. A citizenship privilege. What normally happens with citizenship privilege is that the U.S. citizen spouse will do several things. He may threaten by saying that, by wanting to withdraw the paperwork or wanting to withdraw the support for citizenship or for the LPR status. Another way that they do it is through intimidation, and that is hiding information that immigration is sending over to the immigrant spouse, not letting her read it. The last thing is the deportation threat, which is to say that I will deport you if you divorce me. I will go to immigration and I will deport you and take your kids and essentially deport all of you and send you back to your country of origin. These 7 things are one of many, many things that can occur in an abusive relationship. Now what I have for you, Ling Ling, my recommendation is this. The next time you feel that you are abused, I need you to call the police. I know it's very embarrassing, but I want you to know you have not failed as an individual. Calling the police is not a bad thing to do. And I need you to be descriptive and clear about what you're calling the police on. And I also want you to do is share. Share with as many people as will listen to you and your abuse. And the reason why is, if you do get divorced during this 2-year period and you go to immigration and immigration wants to reject you, it would be very, or at least be more difficult for immigration to reject your status when you have shown patterns of abuse through calling the police and patterns of abuse by talking to people that are around you. I hope this helps. Take care, and if there's anything we can do for you, let us know. Thanks.